We've already talked about tape emulation, and we've already talked about corrective EQ. We've talked about mid-side EQ. Let's start by opening up the Shadow Hills Mastering Compressor. The first thing I'd like to do, just as we were in the earlier segment, is I want to listen to the track again with the plugins that we've added, and then evaluate and see what we need to do with compression. Okay, what I'm hearing is I feel like it could use a little bit of glue. That will be done with the discrete compressor. I also think that maybe just a little bit of opto compression to control going into the discrete compressor, and we have that option here. Let me explain this plugin. We have optical threshold, optical gain, we have discrete ratio, attack and recover or release. We have discrete gain, and we have discrete threshold. Now this plugin is two parts. You have a discrete compressor, and you have an optical compressor. The metering options are really cool. The way I like to use this is so. On your meter select knob, you can go optical, discrete, or output. Now this is independent on each side, so optical, discrete, and output on the right side as well. What I like to do is leave the right side at discrete, and I like to leave the left side at optical. What this allows me to do is monitor the gain reduction for the optical compressor on the left side, and it allows me to monitor the gain reduction for the discrete compressor on the right side. Some other cool features on this compressor: you have a side chain high pass filter. What this does is puts a 90 Hz high pass filter into the side chain of the compressor, and it keeps super low end frequencies from being compressed. You can run this plugin in dual mono, however for mastering we're going to keep it at stereo, and you also have transformer options. Nickel is going to be a cleaner tone, iron is going to be more Neve-esque, and steel is going to be more your API thing. So let's play the track and start turning knobs. Okay, on the optical side of the compressor, what I'm doing is just a little bit of gain reduction, just right at 1 dB, and then even your stronger peaks aren't hitting quite at 2 dB of gain reduction. What I want to do now is move on to the discrete side of the compressor and see if we can get a little more glue. Since we are mastering, let's keep the discrete side of the compressor at a really modest ratio, especially since we're already doing a little bit of compression with the optical side. So I'm going to go at a 1.2 to 1 ratio. Your options are 1.2 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 6 to 1, and flood. Let's bring the attack all the way to 30 milliseconds, which is the slowest setting. And we're going to make sure the sidechain high pass filter is turned on. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to turn the threshold on the discrete side way up. And the reason I want to do this is I want to better hear what's going on the recovery part of the compressor. This will help me decide the best recovery time for this song. Okay, I either like dual, which matches the recovery of the optical compressor, or I like 0.25. I think I favored 0.25 just a little bit, so let's go to that. 0.25 releases a little faster, therefore allowing the compressor to recover before the next downbeat. Now let's back off of our threshold. Alright, now the track sounds really nice and controlled. It's got plenty of glue, but not too much. So the next thing I want to do is see if another output transformer sound will match the song better. Right now we're at nickel. Like I said earlier, nickel is the cleanest setting on the Shadow Hills mastering compressor.
From a crowded mind, but near loss it don't hurt. Make you realize exactly what your life is worth. Good love, give you peace of mind, but don't hate me.
Okay, yeah, nickel is the cleanest. Still was a little too much. Probably just a little more push in the low mids than I want at this point in the chain, but I really loved what the iron setting did for the song. I think it was perfect. So let's move on and A/B with the compressor on and then off. Yeah, I really like those settings, and once again, we're doing about 1 dB of gain reduction on the optical side, and we're hitting right around 2 dB of gain reduction on the discrete side. And remember, the discrete side is only using a 1.2 to 1 ratio. We've got a very slow attack. We have a pretty fast release. Overall, I feel like the song is now more tied together, and it allows us to do a little more with it further down the chain. That does it for the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. So once again, I thank you for watching this segment. And in the next segment, we're going to do additive EQ and a little bit of shaping EQ to the top and bottom. For that video, I'm going to use the API 550A, and I'm going to use the ToneLux Tilt, both UAD plugins. Once again, this is all UAD. We'll see you next time.